Alright, hey everyone. Shoe Shack Redemption back for the 2000 off season after coming off yet another championship. Let's see, was that a three-peat again? Oh, sorry, it was five. Man, time flies since that Pistons championship. So 5 in a row again. Trying to chase down our streak of 8 that we started off with from 86 to 93. Before I get to the draft, I do want to stop and celebrate something. And that is one of our 2 Hall of Fame inductees was Special K Clark Kellogg, who spent most of his career with the Pacers. Started in 82, so he played 1 year before we started this simulation. And then had some fantastic years with the Pacers, slowly getting a little less playing time before, unfortunately, he left for the Lakers. Didn't do so great, but still got to play quite a bit. And ended up being, I think he ended up 3rd or 4th in all-time games played. Cummings was right behind him, actually, only 8 games fewer. But Kellogg was a 5-time All-Star, an 11-time champion, got Finals MVP in one of those 11. He got All-NBA second team once, and was also All-Rookie first team. So pretty cool that Clark Kellogg gets into the Hall of Fame, as well as gets his number 33 hung in the rafters for the Pacers. Cummings also got his number retired for the Clippers, and Ron Harper for the Sixers. We didn't have much changing wise. We had a couple logo changes. Clippers changed their uniform. In the lottery, we ended up with the 5th, 7th, 12th, 16th, 17th, 24, 25, 27. So a whole bunch of picks we won't be using. But this draft is also awful, so even if they were high, we probably wouldn't be using many of them. So here are our total picks. We even have the first pick in the second round. So a whole bunch of draft options, but pretty bad draft class. We have, if we go through here, Gary Payton still has a year left. Nash is expired but restricted since he has played 4 years now, so he should be good. I did keep John Stockton from retiring. He had announced his retirement. However, I looked up, he did play more than this. I think he played till 02 or 03 or something like that. He obviously won't get to play that long in this one, but I've been trying to keep it realistic. If people try to retire before they were supposed to, or before they did in real life, then I keep them around a while. So, like Kellogg, I went ahead and let retire since, he actually only played a couple seasons because of some injuries. But anyway, we still have Kobe with a terrible, terrible injury that he got during the playoffs. We've got Manu in his now second year, going into his second year. The other one, so that's where I think we had Ron Harper. He retired. Vince Carter's got an option. Grant Hill's still got a 1 year plus another player option. Marion's on his rookie contract. Garnett and Dirk are still good to go. Garnett had a terrible injury, cracked vertebrae earlier in the year. Barkley is expired. We might be able to get him back on a minimum deal since that's what he was willing to do, but we'll see if that makes sense. Shaq's got 3 years. Ben Wallace is a free agent. Ratliff's got 1 year. So the only real potential we could do here, I don't know if Ben Wallace really needs to be on this team. Ratliff can do a lot of the same, and he'd be cheaper. The other option is maybe we don't need Ratliff. We could re-sign Wallace. He's restricted as well. We could trade Ratliff, but we'll see what opportunities pop up. So without further ado, let's get into the draft. The number 1 pick, the Knicks, go ahead and take Kenyon Martin, who is the number 1 pick in real life. I did look, the Knicks have, I think they have a team option on 1 player, but otherwise their roster is completely gone, like all free agents. So this is their chance to totally turn things around, but 2K teams are not very smart in the offseason. Jamal McGlower, second pick to the Mavericks. Hornets go with Morris Peterson. So Mo Pete goes third. The Bucks take Stromel Swift. And now the fifth pick, I get no trade offers. Let's just see. I don't remember when Michael Redd was supposed to go. Michael Redd, fifth here. Crawford would be interesting. Here, Redd is only 12th. Hito would be interesting. Redd's fifth, Crawford's fourth. So Crawford, Redd, and Hito would probably be my main targets in this draft, if anybody. But small forward, I'm good. I've got Hill, Carter, and Marion. Shooting guard, I can use some depth because it's just Manu behind Kobe, although I mean Kobe's hurt, so Redd might make some sense here. What kind of potential we have with him. His ceiling is an all-star. His floor is a bench, so that's not good. Can we see? It says his potential is an A-. I don't know how often that's right. Crawford is a B+, and his ceiling is also an all-star. Floor is bench. Well, bench for Jamal Crawford is actually a good place to be. He's all-star bench. I think Michael Redd's going to be the pick unless something crazy good pops up on the trade finder. Got 18 options. Wally and LaFonso. Swift, who was just picked fourth. Why is John Stockton on every single one of these trades? Because they're trying to trade me people, and lots of mornings on there. 2 first from the Lakers. Well, they're super good, so probably not. There's the second pick, McGlower. Terrell Brandon and Juwan Howard. Here's 2 first from the Pistons. They're usually pretty good. Sean Kemp, who's already been on the Pacers for the first half of his career. The 9th and a future first. That's not terrible. If I want to pick up yet more picks, there's the 3rd pick. So I can get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Probably not 1st, but I don't really want Kenyon Martin. Bryant Reeves. Get Reggie back. I don't want to trade Stockton, but having Reggie retire Pacer would be fun. Hopefully he did enough to retire number 31. Played 8 seasons. I think we go ahead and get Michael Redd. Where is he? Oh. Gary Payton entering free agency next summer. Well, he's a point guard. He's, I guess, my backup at both guards. Darius Miles to New Jersey. Back on the clock. So Crawford and Turkoglu both still there. Eton Thomas was projected to go second in 2 of these. Jamal Crawford and Turkoglu don't make sense unless Crawford only makes sense if I trade Manu. He has B- potential, so he probably won't get very good. I guess that could change. They do change over time. We're super young at shooting guard. Our only 2 guys over 30 right now are Stockton and Barkley doesn't even have a contract, so we need probably a little more veteran leadership to fill out the roster instead of rookies. So I'm going to try just the 7th, see what pops up. Probably a lot of the same picks. If I can get 2 firsts, that'd probably be the best I'm going to get. But not the Lakers. There's Miles, who was just picked. Pistons, one of them being in 03. I mean, if we're going fishing for LeBron, that's where we want to be. So Spurs and Pistons, I'll have to see how good they were. Suns evidently, well, that's a 2nd round pick, okay. Pistons, Spurs, Sonics. I'd rather have an 03. The Heat were good anyway. Corey Maggette didn't get to play as a rookie. No Reggie in this one. So Pistons, let's see. They 13th, and they still have Jason Kidd, who's one of the top 3 players in the league, so if not the best. Alright, so probably not the Pistons. Spurs, they don't have their pick, so I don't know how bad they were. They've got Big Dog and Kenny Anderson at least. Antoine will be restricted, so pretty good trio. George McLeod is 80 overall still. Or, I don't know if he just got there. And then the Sonics were the other one. It's Timmy. 17th. Timmy has an option. They've got Baron Davis, who's probably going to get quite a bit better. He's got A potential as well. But they don't really have much else around them. Anderson's expired. I guess they have whoever I trade this, or whoever they pick with this, if I trade it to them. So, hopefully Eton Thomas. I don't know. What if I put Theo Ratliff with it? Does that change anything? These look worse. People think I'm overpaying Theo Ratliff. Kind of seems that way. We get Eddie Jones back. There's the Suns again. Lottery protected. Posey. Reggie pops back up. I guess we either go... I think Pistons are too much of a risk because Kidd is so good. Spurs, probably. Do I have their pick? No. Let's go find where the Spurs pick is just so I know. Oh, there it is. 22nd. So they were pretty darn good, but this is 2 and 3 years from now. Robinson might be gone, or at least worse. Kenny, I hope, won't get any better than that. So let's just try the Spurs. I don't need anybody with this pick, so. And they go with Quentin Richardson. Okay. Kings go with Deshaun Stevenson. We still got... There's Crawford. Goes to the Suns. If Turkoglu doesn't go here... Oh, man. Makes me actually think about it, unless he goes... Oh, there he goes. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about it. Hito on the Magic. A little earlier in his career. Still no trade offers, so nobody wants to give me anything. Mike Miller is probably the only guy at this point I'd be interested in, but not really a position I need, so trading it as well. Try it on its own first before we package it. 15th, and then an 02 lottery protected. There's the Jazz 03 and 04. Might have to check out the Jazz. Still have the Sonics as an option as well. Hito. Timberwolves. Let's try the Timberwolves first. Oh, that's who I beat in the finals, I believe. Page is going to get better, but nobody else will. Why is this team in the finals? Alright, and then it was the Jazz. How good are they? They've got Weber, but they were not very good. Weber and Rose. And that's about it. If Weber declines his player option and doesn't go back to the Jazz, then that could be very good. So let's just do that. And they can have Chris Mim. There you go. Cavs go with DeMar Johnson. Mike Miller to the Rockets. Marcus Fizer to the Wizards. And we're back. I don't think there's anybody else I have any interest in. Desmond Mason. Got Mark Mattson down there. Yeah, I don't think so. So, are we to a point where we have to package them? Will somebody still give me 2 firsts? Those Celtics will. Wow, I did not think the 16th would get me 2 firsts. So, I don't know who that other pick is. Might be mine. Pistons are still good. Celtics, Suns. We looked at the Sonics. Let's look at the Celtics. Stackhouse can be. They were good. Will they still be? Maybe. Let's do it. Desmond Mason goes to the Celtics. Back on the clock. This will probably get me 2 as well then, if the 16th did. What is this other pick? It is not mine, it's the Knicks. So while the Lakers are very, very good, the Knicks had the first pick. So that's not a bad deal. Pistons. Suns are now giving a second. The Sonics, okay, that's a protection. That's protection. That is technically 2 picks, but they're really good. Alright, so what if we... Well, let's try Theo again. I just feel like I should probably get something else. I'm gonna need another, like, older center. No rookies. Stop giving me rookies. Bryant Reeves is 27, but that's the same age as Ratliff. They're in the same draft class. There's Reggie again. Alright, let's see if putting it with the second. Lakers, Pistons, protection. There's 2 straight up from the Sonics. The Heat have MJ, and they made it to the conference finals against me, I believe. They're super, super old, though. So by the time we get... Oh, that's just next year. I thought it was 02 and 03. Do they have their 03? They do. Can I just do that? Give me their 04. What is this Warriors one? That's the 27th. That might be a fine deal for me. So that's what I did, and then they added my... So that's the first pick in the second round, plus the 27th for their 02, 03, 04. I mean, by that time, all of these guys at the top are going to be retired. And they... Oh my god, they have so many... Look at these ages. Holy moly, they've got 7 people over 33. And not really any studs waiting. Van Exel's good, but okay, let's do that. And then they can get Joel Zabilla. Brisbilla, however you say it. Moiso, Keon Dooley to the Bulls. We have a trade that's not involving the Pacers. the Suns trading to get the 20th pick to get Marco Jaric. We also have a trade here, 21st. Clifford Robinson's on the move. Clippers get Mark Madsen instead. Courtney Alexander, Eddie House. Now I'm getting some trade offers. Yes, I would. The Knicks, that looks pretty good to me. If that's their pick, I don't know that it is, but Suns. I think if that Knicks is their pick, then we just go straight. It sure is. Here's what I was talking about. Michael Doleac's the only guy they even have an option for. So other than Kenyon Martin, who they drafted first, they got nothing. So they could sign people in free agency, but based on what I've seen, that rarely happens. Maybe New York is a big market team will actually go after people, but we've seen like the Bucks continue to have their best player be like 76 overall year after year, even though they have all the money in the world to sign people. So let's go ahead and do that. They got Speedy Claxton. Now we get some more trade offers. One trade offer. The Heat would like to trade their first pick to the second that I just gave them. Is there anybody I have any interest in here? Brian Cardinal, Eduardo Nahara. I'm going to go with a no. So just on its own, will it get me? Oh no, it won't. So I still have my 01 that I can get rid of. Look at all these picks. We've already got 6 for 04. All sorts of 03 picks that we'll hopefully be able to use on some Studley guys like we did in 96. Let's go ahead and put that one with it. Anybody give me 2 firsts? Or a bad team giving me 1 first would be fine. Doesn't. Oh, they're a good team, but I don't see that they'll be better than. This is the 25th pick. They have the 27th this year, and other than Peja, they don't look amazing going forward. So I think I'll do this. Because if they're really bad, I don't get the 02 and it turns to 03, which is good, and then I get an 04. So, okay. All the picks for the Pacers. We love having the draft picks. Clete Almean. Here's our fake guy. Nahara to the Heat. Brian Cardinal's a Laker. We don't have very many real people left, if any. I think Oyediji's still there, or however you say his name. There he is, to the Wizards. Pepe Sanchez, forgot about him. Is that it? Oh, Mamadou Ndiaye is the last pick. That's a steal for the T-Wolves, even though they probably won't sign him. Alright, rookie signing, definitely signing Mr. Michael Redd. I am going to go ahead and change his number. Well, let's get through this first. Options. Yes, Vince Carter and Dirk Nowitzki. We would like you to continue to be Pacers. Chris Webber did indeed decline his option, so we will see if he leaves. Rafe LaFrentz, who was the number 1 pick, did not get his 3rd-year option picked up. Wow, he's not shooting over 40%, so Daniels was the 7th pick. Mercer 4th. He's been averaging 18 points a game, so that's stupid. They should base it more on like stats rather than overall, I feel like. It looks like Mercer's been doing fine. Qualifying offers, yes, we would like all those guys. Alright, now before I forget, I've had Manu 22 because Peyton's 20. but Michael Redd needs to be 22. So Manu, I wonder what he was on like the Argentina national team. I'm going to look that up. It's usually the stuff I do when I'm not live, but looks like 5. Do I have a 5? Doesn't look like it. Perfect. All right. So there's my team right now. We've got Nash and Kobe and Ben Wallace as restricted. They've got qualifying offers out there. And then Barkley is the other open spot. So unless I'm trading somebody, I just need to re-sign or match those guys and then sign a third power forward. Maybe Barkley, maybe someone else. Jermaine O'Neal, probably going to be matched, but hey, crazy things have happened. Wizards going after him. Wallace is not getting an offer yet. Horace Grant's there. Wouldn't be bad as an emergency power forward. 13 badges is always good. At power forward, Danny Manning has 10 badges. There's Barkley. So Grant's actually better. No, he was 77. Barkley's 78. They'll both go down. Barkley only has 10 badges, but he's also been on the team already and played well when he was playing. He started when I first traded for him because Garnett was hurt, and then he was in the rotation last year. I don't think he'd be in the rotation this year, but that'd be fine. I think he'd be okay with trying to get a third ring. Unless there's Oakley. He's been awful shooting his entire career. He does want the minimum, right? Yep. I can evidently give up to $12 million for him. I don't know why. I've got the mid-level exception for anybody else. Karl Malone's not going to do it. Weber. The Jazz are here and giving him a lot of money, but not first on the list, so we'll see what plays out there. Glenn Rice might join Reggie Miller, reconnect from their Pacers days, and toss up them threes. Mashburn, possibly leaving Detroit. Pippen is a free agent. There's the reported new coach for the Bucks, Adrian Griffin. Just seeing if there's anybody I want to possibly go after. D. Brown's got 24 badges. He'd be a good mid-level exception pickup if I needed him, but I don't need him. There's Kobe getting all the offers in the world. I'd rather he not get a player option, but it looks like he probably will. Sixers trying to get him. That's pretty funny. And everybody's going after him instead of Allen and Iverson, who are up here. And same here. Nobody's going after Nash because Marbury's there. See if the Warriors match. Okay, so I guess it's going to be Charles Barkley returning to the team. I'm going to wait until I need to do that. Just make sure we match everybody else that comes through. Kobe is expected to, or anticipating it. Oh, I have to reduce his cap hold. Okay, because I'm way over the cap. All right, we're going to match Kobe Bryant. It is player option, unfortunately. So now, Wallace still doesn't have an offer. Jermaine has another offer. Barkley's still good. Glenn Rice getting more offers. Now Iverson. I really hope he goes to the Sixers. That'd be fun. He just led the league in scoring with the Suns. I assume they'll match him. They also gave him a big offer. Ray Allen has been on the Hawks, who don't have an offer out to him, but they might still match him. We'll go another day. Alright, now Nash is getting offers. Stop giving player options. I hate it. I'd rather have control of whether they're going to be on my team or not. Kukoc now getting the most. Barkley's still good to go. Alright, now Nash is expected to offer. We will match him. And then we can actually give Ben Wallace the offer we want to. So Nash, who's not gotten to play all that much because Stockton has not retired yet, but we'll get him some more minutes this year, I'm sure. So Chris Webber signed with somebody, and now he's back. And the Jazz are again on the list, giving him a huge deal. Ben Wallace is now getting offers. So I'm going to try to give him what I'd rather have. 3D. Page is unrestricted. So that means the Timberwolves spent their money elsewhere and I guess released his cap hold. And the Knicks are going after him. So Knicks actually trying to use their money. Allen Houston. Alright, so oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I guess I should have done it. Well, my backup plan is Horace Grant, so he's still there. But we've got to try. So 3 years for 20.53. We can give him 5. But it's 100, so it has to be full blast. 3 years for 20.53 is an average of just under 7 per year. So that's an average just over 7 per year. Oh, that's a lot of money. He's happier with fewer years. Try something like that. It says 100, but it's $250,000 less than what the Bucks are giving, so he probably won't take it. Ben Wallace accepted an offer. Okay, Barkley's ready to go. Alright, so I think we have a full team now, again. We got Nash back on a crazy deal. We're $40 million over the cap. But we'll have money next year, evidently. Because of Gary Payton becoming a free agent. Kobe making a lot of money. Barkley signed, thankfully. And now Ben Wallace. So it's very similar to what I gave him. It just has that player option at the end, which is unfortunate. But the nice thing is if he does accept it and I don't want him at that point, then I can trade him for something. So the only other thing I could possibly do, or would think about doing, is trading Ratliff. Because he's not going to play unless there's an injury, which Anybody who tuned into the last season knows there were just a ridiculous amount of injuries, and really, really bad ones at that. There's 2 firsts from the Clippers for Ratliff. It's just like I could sign Horace Grant or somebody with some badges to mentor somebody instead of having Ratliff for 1 year and probably not bring him back. I don't know how good the Clippers were, but 2 firsts for 77 overall. Theo Ratliff sounds pretty good to me. Oh, that's not a first. Never mind. It's a first and a second. They had what appears to be the 10th pick, if that was their own pick. They don't look very good right now. Don't think there's anybody else I'd really want to trade. Ginobili maybe if he's only going to be a B-, but I'd rather wait it out to see. Alright, what were the other firsts other than the Clippers? I got excited because I thought it was 2 firsts. I saw the 01 and I think I misread it. The Kings, that's an 04. The Nets are usually good. Same with the Pistons. Rockets, are they any good? Well, evidently they stole Stephon Marbury from the Warriors, and they still have Kemp and Eddie Jones, so looks like they'll be pretty good. Seems so. The Suns, Sonics. I mean, 03 would be the best to get if possible. Sonics, yeah, they're the ones with Duncan and Davis. I don't have to trade them. I mean, I can trade them in the season as well. Suns did get Iverson back, so they matched. To pair with Jamal Crawford, that's an interesting backcourt. That's all they have so far, really. I wish you didn't have to back all the way out after looking at a trade. The Nets, they're getting older. Olajuwon and Brandon. Olajuwon's going to retire soon. That's an 03. I'm giving them their replacement for Olajuwon, so it's nice of me. I think I go ahead and do this. Theo, you've been a great... You were a backup center, and then you were a great third center for injuries, but I don't think I'll re-sign you when you're ready to go. I'd rather have another 03 pick. So now I can sign an older guy for the minimum, like Horace Grant. Yeah, he's still there. Thought he was gone for a second. Purvis Ellison's got 11 badges as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Well, let's look. I wish you could sort by badges. Should be a thing. Horace might have the most. At least from a able to mentor people standpoint. There might be better people with more. There's a 14 for Ostertag. I think, where's Idrunas going to go? Probably back to the Bulls. I think Horace is the way to go. If there's any chance Karl Malone would take the mid-level exception, that'd be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. Charles Oakley. Yeah, let's go ahead and give Horace. He's not been on my team yet. He's coming off his best shooting percentage of his career. Did he play a lot? He started every single game for the Hawks. All right. He is signing. Cool. All right. I think we can go on through now. Looks like Malone signed with somebody. Rodney Rogers. The Knicks are moving on from him, so hopefully they found somebody to replace. Antoine might go to the Rockets. Rafe LaFrance unrestricted since his team option was declined. And the Wizards aren't even thinking about him now. Don't have anybody else. No. Sprewell, possibly to the Bucks. He's coming off a couple good years in Chicago. He still hasn't signed though. There we go. Calvert Chaney, possibly to the Pistons. And then we have Danny Fortson's getting a lot of offers now. Vlade Divac, if he had more badges, he could have been an idea to come back to the Pacers. Yeah, I had him for the first year and a half of his career, but traded him. He never panned out quite as good as he should have. All right, looking at player progression here, we'll go a position at a time. Nash did not get better. Stockton went down 2, that was expected. And Peyton stayed put, which is fine. He's staying a 90. I thought Nash would get better, though. I was kind of hoping he would meet Peyton, like on his way up. And then I could consider moving on from Peyton when his contract expires next season. Peyton still can't shoot threes. His speed, he had a bad injury too, I think, at some point. Speed goes down. Nash's passing and consistency went up. It looks like he did go up in things, just not in overall. Peyton's movement, definitely down. Don't know why intangibles go down for veteran players. John Stockton's speed and acceleration is in the 40s and 50s. Okay, so point guard's still looking very good. Shooting guard, Kobe goes up 2. He is still hurt. Manu went up 3. Okay. Probably not cracking the rotation, though, over... It'll be Peyton playing most of the shooting guard minutes, along with Kobe. He's a 95 at 3. So his dunking went down. I'm sure his agility has taken a huge hit from his ruptured Achilles. His speed with balls down 5, so I imagine his speed and acceleration and lateral quickness all went down as well, about the same. And lateral quickness 3, so he's in the 80s now. As long as that doesn't go down every season from now on, it's fine if it stays there, but I don't know if it will. His vertical's down 5. Ouch. His potential still says B-. At small forward, Carter also did not go up, and Grant Hill went down 1. I thought he was the guy that stayed generally. Well, he missed some games, didn't he? Yeah. He did. Marion goes up 1. We have some decisions to make next year with Hill and Peyton as free agents. Did he go down? Draw fouls down 5 for some reason. Vince went down in that too. Carter's a better defender than Grant Hill. Speed's down. His stamina's only 86. Ow. Ouch. His durability's down, so he's going to get hurt even more. I mean, it is Grant Hill. This is about the time things took a turn, probably. Power forward. Oh, boy. I was afraid of that. Garnett going down 1. Dirk got up 3, though. Garnett could be on the trade block. We'll see how things go. I think Dirk might make more sense next to Shaq and spreading the floor. His threes are up to 77 now, so that's more respectable. His mid-range is awesome. Barkley went down 3, but wasn't planning on playing him. Because Dirk played how many of the games? Twice as many as he did as a rookie, and even started half the games, so he's looking pretty good as a rotation player now. Garnett's getting worse at defense, blocking, rebounding, speed. Oh boy. Not cool. And at center, Shaq goes down 1. What did he do? I forget what his injury was. Something with his knee, maybe. Horace Grant somehow didn't go down. Ben Wallace is up 3, so I'm glad I gave him that contract, or well matched his contract. Be curious to see if what Ratliff did wherever I traded him. The Nets, I think. Shaq went down mostly in this stuff again. Not surprising. Again, I don't know why intangibles have to go down for. Why is Horace Grant's intangibles so terrible? He has no stamina, so gotta remember that if he ever gets in the rotation. Okay, so there's the team. Kobe would actually be my best player if he weren't hurt. Looking pretty good. So the only change was Michael Redd in for Ron Harper, who retired, and then Horace Grant for Theo Ratliff. So we got younger in one and older in the other. Let's take a look through the league and see what changes we see. The Pistons, so they lost Mashburn, so it really is just Jason Kidd, so I probably should have taken their picks. Kidd went up 1, so we got Hill going down 1, Kidd going up 1. Not looking like a good season for Detroit in the near future. Rockets improved by getting Marbury. Didn't go up, though. Well, he had a little worse season. Spurs, so Robinson goes down 1. Doesn't look like they did much. They matched Antoine. Suns didn't do anything other than match Iverson and draft Crawford. Oh boy, so Crawford's going to shoot a lot, but otherwise Iverson's probably got another 30-point scoring coming, or season coming. Baron Davis goes up 4. That might be the most around the league. Allen Houston is going to be, looks like they're starting shooting guard, so pretty cool starting lineup. Look at that. Baron Davis, Allen Houston, Bruce Bowen, that defensive stopper, Kukoc, and Duncan. That's a contender in the West, and pretty good bench as well. Duncan goes up 2. Blazers, I don't see anybody new here. Smits goes down 1. Rip goes up 3 after a nice rookie year. Oh boy. So the Warriors lost Marbury, get C-Web and Pippen to go with Starks. The reason they didn't match Marbury is because they drafted Francis last year, who did go up 3. They signed Brevin Knight. They don't have a center. Their center might be Chris Webber, it looks like, unless they sign somebody as we advance the season. The old Heat didn't get anybody new. MJ's now an 82 overall. Sabonis did not go down. Somehow Steve Smith went up 1, so they got somebody else in their 30s. Mullins down 3. And they're the ones who traded for Clifford Robinson, too, so they just keep getting the old guys to surround Jordan. They need to find a little bit more of like a athletic complement. Hornets continue to have Sean Bradley as their best player. They drafted Peterson. Magic did match Jermaine O'Neal, who went up 5 overall. Brand went up 3, so their front court is one of the best in the league. Jason Williams went up 1 as well. They signed Rodney Rogers away from the Knicks. Probably going to be their 6th man. That's a neat team. Timberwolves, so they let Peja go, and they got Mashburn instead, who went up one, and they also signed Ogoska, so overall they get better. And they signed D. Brown as well. Raptors look the same, I think. Reeves goes down to... They have no guards. I guess Finley's probably going to be a guard. Pepe Sanchez might be their starting point guard. Oh boy. Grizz did get Glenn Rice and Sam Cassell, but all their guys going down. Reggie did not go down, actually. That's a good team. 4 guys over 80. Alright, we got Sixers get Nick Anderson from the Sonics. Kevin Willis, 37 years old, still playing. 3D came over from the Warriors. They don't have a point guard. Who's their point guard? Looks like a 35-year-old Avery Johnson. For the Bucks, Ron Artest continues to be their best player, but they did get Latrell Sprewell to join him and drafted Swift. So this team will continue to be terrible. Artest went up 4, though, at least, after shooting terrible as a rookie. The Wizards steal Ray Allen from the Hawks to go with Damon Stoudemire and Tracy McGrady. So cool 3-headed monster there in their 20s. They don't have a power forward. Marcus Fight. Well, he's their 15th pick. Okay. Bulls, Timmy goes down 1. They lost Vin Baker. I don't think we've ran across him yet, so not sure what team he's on. Hopefully the Lakers didn't sign somebody good, because they seem to do that every single offseason. The Cavs look like they'll be one of the worst teams in the league. J.R. Reed is their best player, and he was already on the team. Pat Garrity goes up to, oh my gosh, who's going to score for this team? They have nobody. Cedric Ceballos? Celtics get Karl Malone. So Malone going hunting for that championship. He played 15 years with the Clippers before deciding. So kind of similar to playing forever for the Jazz in real life and then jumping to the Lakers for last year. He'll get to be one of 2 main scoring threats for this team. And meanwhile, the Clippers didn't really do much to replace him. Miller goes up 4. The Hawks still have their young duo of Jamison and Odom, but they lost Ray Allen and will now start Eric Piatkowski. And this team looks pretty bad. The Jazz lose Chris Webber, and now Jalen Rose is going to score even more than the 20 points per game he did last year. They did get Rafe LaFrentz as a plan B. That's nothing compared to Chris Webber. The Kings have Abdurrahim and Mourning and Jackson Still. Jackson goes up 3. The Knicks did nothing with their full salary cap available. They signed Shannon Anderson, Kerry Kittles, who did not play for the Timberwolves last year. Wow. Matt Bullard. Were any of these guys on the team? They drafted Speedy. That's a fake guy and a fake guy. Wow. The Knicks had such a good chance to be a contender, and they did nothing. The Lakers continue to be amazing. Paul Pierce goes up 4. Their old guys all went down. Billups is still recovering from his torn ACL. All these guys were already on the team. They added Rick Fox. This team's going to be a good one again. So Peja jumps over to the Mavericks to join Joe Smith and Larry Hughes. They got Bogues and Daryl. Well, they already had Daryl Armstrong, but Muggsy, who is assisting Machine. There's Vin Baker. So I trade them Theo Ratliff. They already had Juwan Howard. And they spend their money on Vin Baker. Seems like a shooting guard would have been a better choice. Because they don't have one, really. Bunch of fake guys down there. Hakeem only went down 2. The Nuggets, the Admiral goes down 1. These guys I think were already on the team. Karolinko and Terry goes up 3. Richard goes up 2. So they've got some young guys making their way up as Robinson gets older. And then we're back to the Pacers. Alright, get past Summer League. We're looking for the 01 All-Star. Looks like DC. Let's have a computer. Please don't get hurt, Vince Carter. DC, not Phoenix. Alright, we will load. And actually, I think this is the first year that's not on my ID. We're all the way on to a third ID now. 2001, there we go. Now we get to see all the fun. It's definitely better than the 2000 class, I will say that. Because we have Joe Johnson. We have Troy Murphy, the actual #1 pick, Kwame Brown. Hold for laughter. Gilbert Arenas, Tyson Chandler, Zach Randolph, Richard Jefferson, Jason Richardson, Brendan Haywood, Shane Battier, Eddie Curry, Gerald Wallace, and Jamal Tinsley. And that's just in the USA. Over on the international side, we have Pau Gasol and Tony Parker. And Vlad Radmanovic. That's not Jason Terry, by the way. It's a fake guy. Sagna Diop, Mehmet Okur, Samuel Dallenberg, Boomjay. A lot of big guys over here. So this is probably the best world class there's been so far. Pau, actually, they won this game. Alright, let's go ahead and advance. And take a look to see, is Kobe still hurt? He is. He'll miss probably about the first month. On the lower end of that, Mitch Richmond is coming off of a sore knee. At least Chauncey Billups is back for the Lakers. So we are going without Kobe to start this season. Is there anybody that's ready to re-sign here to kick off? Gary Payton will. Gary Payton is all ready to re-sign for more than he's making right now. I'll probably wait until further into the season, because if he ruptures his Achilles again or something like that, well, I don't think he did that. I forget what he did, but he's had some lengthy injuries over the season, so I don't want to give it to him too early, and then we're kind of stuck with him. But he is 90 overall, so it's okay to be stuck with a 90 overall player, probably. Okay. Is there... Here's free agencies. So 69 is the best player left. I'm curious if the Knicks ended up getting anybody to fill out their team. Yeah, Jim McElvain. Not much going for the New York Knicks. So across the league, we have the best overall player is Chris Webber. At point guard, Gary Payton is right behind Jason Kidd. We also have Nash, who is 6th. Shooting guard, Iverson, Allen. So Kobe's technically at the top of this list, leading by about 4. Reggie's still top 5. It's really sad to see that John Starks is just as good as Michael Jordan. Oh boy. Small forward, Hill went down, so he and Carter actually tied in 4th. Former Pacers, Pippen and Rice down here. And Rose, actually. Power forward, Weber just way out in front. Unfortunately, Garnett is not in the top 10. Dirk actually is. Oh, now they're tied. And center, Shaq will just never be at the top, especially now that Duncan has passed him. So Shaq's third. Ben Wallace, top 10 as well. There you have it. If we want to look at mock draft, looks like Gilbert, Johnson, Gasol, Parker. Gasol, Johnson, Gilbert, Parker. Gilbert, Gasol, Johnson, Parker. So same four, just in different orders every time. We have how many picks in the next draft? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have a good chance to get some of those guys if we so choose. But it kind of depends on how people do and who gets hurt, of course. So I think we'll go ahead and stop there. And I'll do the rotation and get all that stuff set up, ready to go before I go live next time. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Shoeshak Redemption out.